accept the doctrine of original sin. The CRC report goes on to reveal that 27% of evangelical churchmen
presentation of Team Glory Sports.
It's 9:05 at 97.5 Glory FM, your radio station for North Georgia Sports. And welcome once again to the Saturday Morning Sports Show. We're live here at the Sports Center at 97.5 Glory FM, your radio station for North Georgia Sports. We're also streaming on our brand new YouTube channel at Team Glory Sports. You can like and subscribe to our channel and be a part of Team Glory Sports as we bring you the very best in local sports coverage. Today we'll bring you high school, college, and pro football action here on the Saturday Morning Sports Show. We'll talk about high school football with Coach Tommy Jones, the head coach of the Cherokee Bluff Bears. Hopefully get a chance to talk with Josh Dibble, the head coach of the Gainesville High Red Elephants. Also, we'll talk with Harper LaBelle about NFL football with the Atlanta Falcons. Dave Cole will talk about tonight's big game between Georgia State and Georgia Tech here on 97.5 Glory FM. Kicking things off with our first college football game of the season that takes place this evening starting at 7:30. Then to kick off at 8 p.m. this evening with Tech and State here on your radio station for North Georgia Sports. We'll also have our sports medicine feature from NGPG, Ortho and Sports Medicine. A lot more this morning here on the Saturday Morning Sports Show. Kicking things off with the scoreboard from last night, as you heard right here on 97.5 Glory FM. It was Cherokee Bluff going to 3-0 on the season as they defeat North Hall 38-13, the final in that ball game. Also, East Hall remains undefeated. They're 3-0 on the year as they blank Johnson 55-0. West Hall picks up their second win of the season as the Spartans, they were a winner over Chestatee last night in the other rivalry here locally, as it was West Hall 31, Chestatee 19 from last night. Gainesville remains undefeated, 23 straight regular season wins for the Big Red team. For Coach Josh Niblett, since he's been head coach at Gainesville, they win down in Atlanta against Westlake 41-7. Also around the area last night, a huge win for Lumpkin County. As you heard from Coach Heath Webb last night on the final score, it was Lumpkin County over Hart County 28-25. Dawson County falls to East Jackson. The Eagles are undefeated as they defeat Dawson County last night 37-10. It was Habersham Central over White County 31-28. Other scores around the area last night, it was Lakeview Academy blanking Towns County 42-0. Going back to Thursday's action, it was Lanier Christian shutting out Riverside Prep 27-0. Also, it was East Forsyth. They remain undefeated. The Broncos are 3-0 with Coach Dusty Cannon as they defeat Wanda Barra 34-30. Also from last night, scores from the Forsyth County area, it was North Forsyth over Lanier. West Forsyth was a winner over Parkview. South Forsyth defeats Riverwood. Over in Jackson County, it was Commerce with a win on the road against Luella, winning 24-14. Jefferson defeats Clark Central 42-14. And also it was Jackson County with a big win over Tequila from last night. Other games around the North Georgia area, it was Fannin County over Union County. Also, it was Oconee County falling to Morgan County last night. Some interest there. Stevens County won their game from last night. And you can tell lots of high school football action from last night. Beaufort had the evening off. They return to action coming up next week. Coming up next, we'll start things off talking to the coaches here on the Saturday Morning Sports Show on 97.5 Glory FM.
This is Representative Lee Hawkins, your representative to the state legislature. I want to wish all the local athletes in our area the very best this season. Your team is very important to the success of our community, and I look forward to seeing you play this year and to see what you accomplish in the classrooms and in the community. I also look forward to serving you and your family in the state legislature. This message paid for by the committee to re-elect Lee Hawkins.
Thank you, North Hall. This is Chris Kinsey with Millie's Drapery and Decorating, and we would like to thank the North Hall community for their continued support. Since 1968, my family has provided the area with beautiful custom drapery, bedding, upholstery, blinds, shades, and more. If you would like some help with your interior design project, give us a call and we'll schedule one of our talented designers to give you an in-home consultation and estimate for your project. Call us at 770-532-3819.
On-time service and experience matter for your home's heating and air system. For more than 40 years, Conditioned Air Systems has been North Georgia's solution for residential HVAC installation, maintenance, and repair. Family owned and operated, we deliver the highest quality service on any brand and model with no hidden fees, promising 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Comfort you can feel, quality you can trust. Visit conditionedairsystems.com to schedule an appointment.
If you need to communicate to a lot of people, you need Gainesville Signs and Graphics. They are a full-service sign company. From consultation through construction, they'll handle all aspects of your sign needs. Political signs, banners, magnetics, monuments, subdivision and street signs, as well as vehicle and storefront graphics. So trust your sign needs to Gainesville Signs and Graphics. Check out their website at GainesvilleSignsandGraphics.com or call 770-533-5700.
Maco 97.5 Glory FM WGTJ, talking with Dr. Gregory Woods of NGPG Ortho and Sports Medicine. Dr. Woods, tell me, what is the most important thing a patient needs to know when they have an injury and when they need to go to NGPG?
It depends on the injury, and most of the time it's pretty overt in orthopedics in that you get hit, you fall, you twist, somebody hits you, and if you have pain and swelling, stiffness, unable to bear weight, or you see deformity in the joint like a finger, then those are all reasons to get seen and get care as soon as you can get in.
Let's say for an athlete, for example, I know I've seen a lot of girls end up hurting a knee by just twisting the wrong way, and then all of a sudden the knee would just blow out, it seems.
Yeah, the common injury, especially in female basketball players and athletes where they pivot and turn, the common injury there is an anterior cruciate ligament tear or patellar dislocation. And oftentimes there's a pain and a pop and swelling afterwards for both those injuries, and it does take a good physical exam and often diagnostic studies such as an MRI scan to help determine the extent of the injury and the plan of care.
Does it matter if it's a partial tear, Dr. Woods, or a complete tear about how to treat that injury?
Oh, yeah. There's a good Swedish study out that showed that partial tears act more like normal tears if they've got more than half of the ligament intact. And if they have less than half the ligament intact on the ACL, it acts more like a complete tear. And it's basically based on how many fibers are left and how much stability it'll provide and how it will hold up in the long run. And the ones where there's a near complete or complete tear, we usually offer reconstruction of that ligament to be able to get athletes back on their feet.
How invasive is the surgery now at NGPG?
Well, for arthroscopic anterior cruciate ligament reconstruction, which is what we do most of the time, when you have a single ligament injury, or sometimes even if you have a ACL with a partial medial collateral ligament tear, we do it all through a scope. A lot of us do what's called an all-inside technique, where we just make small scope portals, and we're able to have one portal just a little bit larger and able to pass the tendon graft through that portal and dock it into the tunnels into the joint in the anatomic position, and then provide secure fixation so that tendon will become ligament and provide stability for that knee in the future.
How about recovery and how intense it might be for someone tuned into us that may have an injury?
Well, it depends on the extent of the injury. If it's an anterior cruciate ligament tear, it's a process. Early on, we're working on motion. When we get about 8 to 10 weeks out, we start working on quad strengthening. We work on hamstring strengthening first because that helps protect the anterior cruciate ligament, and then we add in open chain quad work later on, and that's typical open chain would be like doing a leg extension, leg machine. We're trying to get all of the patient's motion and strength back so that they can get back to the sport activities. But in that process, in about 12 weeks or so, we start to move the patient over from a physical therapy type setting to a more functional setting with our athletic trainers. And we have about 30 athletic trainers that we have at our different schools located throughout, and they're really good at doing that functional rehab program that we like to do after the patient has had their initial physical therapy.
I'm very glad you said that, Dr. Woods, because so oftentimes the layman will be thinking, okay, I'm going to NGPG, I'm going to have surgery, and then you will start wondering about rehab. But y'all offer so many great services there at NGPG.
Yes. I think between our walk-in clinics, our diagnostic capabilities of our clinicians that we have, both our physician assistants and our doctors, as well as the physical therapy programs that we work with, and our employed athletic trainers, we have a great team approach to care of the athlete.
And you're all over the area now too, right?
Yes. We extend clear up to Toccoa, Stevens County, all the way over to Lumpkin, Dawsonville area, and then all the way south to Appalachia, Weiner, Jefferson, over in Jackson County. We cover one of the largest areas of any athletic training sports program in the state of Georgia. And it's partly because of the service area that we have at Northeast Georgia. It's not, an urban type environment. We're spread out.
That's a great thing too, the way you serve the community. Thank you so much, Dr. Woods, for being with us. We got much more for you coming up next on 97.5 Glory FM.
Innovation at Jackson EMC.
To me, innovation is taking technology and doing something new with it.
I'm working with a global company. We're helping them be able to reduce their carbon footprint through some of our programs.
Here at Jackson EMC, we embrace innovation, such as solar power, electric vehicle programs, energy-efficient right choice homes. Jackson EMC, innovation for today, innovation for tomorrow.
This is Matt Nix, president of Duplicating Products, where we're proud to celebrate 50 years of serving North Georgia. Since 1974, Duplicating Products has been dedicated to providing top-quality office solutions and exceptional service. Our success would not have been possible without the support of our incredible community and loyal customers. Thank you for being an important part of our journey. Find out more about us at duplicatingproducts.com/thank you.
Back to school shouldn't mean back to the doctor. Make sure you go to Riverside Pharmacy for all of your health needs. They have everything from hand sanitizers to all of the vitamins you'll need. But if your child does get sick, then the expert pharmacists at Riverside Pharmacy can get your family back to school by filling all of your prescriptions. They'll even deliver them in the Gainesville area. Riverside Pharmacy across the street from City Park, serving Gainesville for over 60 years.
Hey, it's Coach Mark Richt here. Everyone knows defense wins championships. And if you're not using EMC Security to defend your home and family, you need to step up your game. They're who I use for home security and cameras, and you should too. I've scouted them all, and there's no better choice. With EMC Security's no contract and local service, they are a clear number one. So give them a call or visit them online at emcsecurity.com. That's emcsecurity.com.
Siphon Logistics' commitment is to provide you, the customer, with on-time pickup and delivery every time. Members of the Siphon family have been in the transportation business since 1984. The Siphon Logistics transportation professionals are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing maximum flexibility and options to produce the most successful shipping arrangements. Call Siphon Logistics at 770-287-8485 and take a look at their website at siphonlogistics.com.
Here I am on the road again, ready to pick up the kids from school, go by the grocery store, and do all the things a busy mother does. It's because I just left North Hall Tire and Wheel, where they made sure I was ready to go. They put on a fresh set of tires, checked the brakes, and even the battery. I know I can trust Mike and Matt and the guys at North Hall Tire and Wheel. They have everything you need, all the name brand tires at the best prices, and the service you need. They're on Cleveland Highway in Gainesville, so give them a call at 770-297-5308.
And we're back on the Saturday Morning Sports Show, 97.5 Glory FM. Thanks to our doctor friend from NGPG Ortho and Sports Medicine, Dr. Gregory Woods. And we'll have more from NGPG every Saturday throughout the school year here on 97.5 Glory FM. I'm with you until 10 o'clock this morning. Right now, I've been striking out, getting coaches. I think the one just gave me a call right there. Let's see if we can get him on the air this morning as you're tuned to the Saturday Morning Sports Show, 97.5 Glory FM. Good morning, Coach. Hello, Coach. Oh, that's just not working this morning. We had a little phone difficulty, it seems like, one of the coach there, so we'll try to get Tommy Jones on a little bit later on here on 97.5 Glory FM. And you see the YouTube feed. I've been working hard behind the scenes trying to get Coach Jones and Coach Josh Niblett to join us this morning. I even tried to get in touch with Coach Lee Coleman of Lakeview Academy as the Lions improved to 3-0 last night. And so far, it has been a great season for local teams. We have Cherokee Bluff undefeated at 3-0. You have East Hall undefeated at 3-0. Also, you have Lakeview Academy. They're undefeated at 3-0. Then you have got West Hall winning 2 games for the first time in a few years. They're now 2-1 on the season. And look at how things are going right now. Big win last night for Lumpkin County over Hart County. Noah Matthews scoring 2 touchdowns and 2 huge touchdowns by Cal Faulkner as the Indians had to score in the last 2 minutes of the ball game to defeat Hart County last night for their first win of the season. Also from last night, surprising scoring since it was for Science Central blanking Flowery Branch 10-0. The final in that ball game, and the Falcons dropped to 1-2 on the season. History was made back on Thursday here locally as it was Lanier Christian defeating Riverside Prep 27-0 for the Lightning's first win in, I guess, a Hall County school system team. And going back here, I think I got Coach on the phone. You there, Coach? All right, he's there now. Let's see if I can get you going here now. Get him on the air here as we talk. I think I got Tommy Jones on the phone here. Let's see what we got here. All right, now I got you, Coach. Good morning, sir.
Hey, how are you today, Mike?
I'm blessed, sir. How about you?
Doing well, yes, sir.
I got these phone difficulties straightened out this morning. Glad you're with us this morning, buddy. We talked last night. You were very happy last night when I saw you after the ball game last week. That was a big win for your team, a very good win.
Yeah, really proud of our boys. I thought we were focused and played with just tremendous effort, and things worked out for us. It was a good night for the Bears.
Well, it's good when you have effort, but then when you can convert that effort into success, another thing, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt. I just thought we executed in in all phases, relatively well. And we have a ton of respect for North Hall and Coach Pender and the job that they do up there. And, we know that when you play those guys, it's going to be a great game. And, we were fortunate to make a handful of plays last night to kind of help us win the game.
Talking to Coach Tommy Jones, the head coach of Cherokee Bluff. Tommy, tell me about this, about people asking a question about preparation, because your team was just prepared like nothing else last night to defeat North Hall and just was there from the very beginning, it seemed.
There are a handful of things that you can control in this game. And, when we talk to our kids a lot, and in preparation and the way you go about competing and the way you respond either to success or adversity, those are all things that are under our control. And, I thought our coaching staff did a nice job of just preparing our kids. They did a great job of really locking in, focusing, working hard through the week of practice, and watching film and meeting times and those types of things, to get ready to go.
Well, I've mentioned so often in the last couple of weeks of starting things off this year is that defense is the key to me, because you got to stop somebody, and you may be able to stop two teams with very good quarterbacks there with Cal Faulkner in week number 1, and then last night at home with those two quarterbacks. And how's preparation when it comes to going against two quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think I told you, on the kickoff show, I can't remember, but, particularly hard getting ready for North Hall because we just didn't have a lot of film. They'd only had a scrimmage against Flowery Branch, a game against Wesleyan, and neither of those teams, were exactly like we are. So you're looking at some different stuff, trying to figure out who they are and what they're going to do, and which quarterback does what, which does the other, things like that. But I thought Coach Griffin and our defensive staff did a great job of kind of getting a big picture of what North Hall likes to do. And then the biggest thing was our kids had the ability to go and execute, and I thought, we were fortunate enough to where our secondary made some tackles in their quick screen game that prevented them from creating some explosive plays with their screen game. For the most part, you're never going to stop North Hall, but we were able to limit that.
But you also put a lot of pressure on them, Tommy. You put a lot of pressure on them. Had a lot of plays for loss last night.
Yeah, we were able to sort of get them out of rhythm a little bit, which is good. And, so, like I said, I thought our kids played hard, played focused, and, played with tremendous effort and felt connected last night. Felt like our guys were playing for each other, which is always a big thing.
Tell me about the special teams. You definitely improved from game number 1, and North Hall had trouble with their special teams last night.
Well, Landon Kemp, had one of the early plays of the game when he was able to block a punt. That was a big play for us to kind of get us, kind of give us a short field, and we were able to convert that into some points. Obviously after our game against Lumpkin, early in the season, so many teams. You look across the state, and I bet there are probably more kickoff returns for touchdowns in week 1 than there are combined the rest of the season. It's just hard to replicate that kind of speed on special teams, and there are a lot of us that gave up some big plays on special teams in game 1. But it has been a huge point of emphasis for us in practice. We spent a great deal of time in practice working on those special teams. So the hope is that as the year goes on, we'll get better and better there.
Also, we called a lot of names last night for your team, Coach, and it was like a lot of the younger guys really are performing well.
No doubt about it. Yeah, we've got some younger guys that have been forced into action, and they're stepping up, and they're doing some great things. Jackson Perkle is a name that comes to mind. They had 100 yards rushing last night. And we've got I think 4 sophomores on our offensive line, including our tight end. Some guys that play defense. Tony Russian and Dylan Haley are sophomores. So we've got some guys out there running around and playing some good football right now that are young, and we hope that really bodes well for the future.
So I love the point, and I mentioned to a couple other coaches, the idea now you've got, when Gary talked to you last night after the ball game, it was like, okay, yeah, you're 3-0, but now you're 1-0 last night, and now you're looking at starting over again and looking at being 1-0 next week against Habersham Central.
I mean, that's the goal every week. I mean, it doesn't get easier. And, you know, like always, I mean, the goal is to continue to get better. I mean, you know, like we talked about, handling adversity is a huge challenge, but a lot of times it's harder for all of us, particularly high school age kids, to handle success and kind of figuring out, you know, how to maintain the same level of focus and intensity through a long season is a challenge. And so, you know, this one was enjoyable, obviously, but you know, we got to turn the page quick and get ready for Habersham, who had a big win last night. You know, we know that you know, we know who they are. We've got a ton of respect for Coach Harrison and that whole bunch up there. So we know we're gonna have our hands full, and it's gonna take, you know, just a tremendous effort.
You know, the best thing you said, Tommy, and I just had said it before Gary asked you the question, was about now you played North Hall 7 times every year. You won 3 of those games, and they're, you know, hard-fought wins, and they really are special, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's anytime you play an in-county team, and you know, and you know, for one reason or another, I think, you know, North Hall and Cherokee Bluff have become, you know, it's become a pretty big rivalry in Hall County, and so, I mean, you want to win some of those games. If you don't win enough of them, then it won't be a rivalry. You know? So, you know, we had to go out and try to get one back so that we could maintain that rivalry status for sure.
All right. I appreciate it very much, sir. Congratulations on the win from last night. We'll talk to you next time, okay?
Thank you so much, Mike. Have a great day.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good holiday weekend. Because the thing about it is, this is a holiday weekend for a lot of these coaches getting ready to take a day off because they got a day off from school coming up on Monday. We got high school football for you coming up next week as Cherokee Bluff will be on the road. In Mount Airy, they'll take on Habersham Central. Will be at North Hall as East Hall takes on North Hall on Friday Night Football in North Georgia. We got much more for you coming up next here on the Saturday Morning Sports Show on 97.5 Glory FM.
This is Representative Lee Hawkins, your representative to the state legislature. I want to wish all the local athletes in our area the very best this season. Your team is very important to the success of our community, and I look forward to seeing you play this year and to see what you accomplish in the classrooms and in the community. I also look forward to serving you and your family in the state legislature. This message paid for by the committee to re-elect Lee Hawkins.
Thank you, North Hall. This is Chris Kinsey with Millie's Drapery and Decorating, and we would like to thank the North Hall community for their continued support. Since 1968, my family has provided the area with beautiful custom drapery, bedding, upholstery, blinds, shades, and more. If you would like some help with your interior design project, give us a call and we'll schedule one of our talented designers to give you an in-home consultation and estimate for your project. Call us at 770-532-3819.
Morning Sports Show on 97.5 Glory FM. You know, here we are, wrapping up the month of August as we get ready for the Labor Day weekend, and some of these coaches are out and about here getting ready to take a day off and enjoy themselves here after games from last night. You heard a lot of coaches last night on the final score, and thanks to Tommy Jones joining me this morning here on 97.5 Glory FM. We'll wake up another guy here. I think I gave him a morning wake-up call. Harper O'Bell joining us this morning to talk a little NFL football. Hey, there's Harper.
Well, good morning, Mike. Yeah, that's kind of secondary news. The NFL is kind of lagging behind with all the high school that has been taking place for 3 full weeks, and now college is kicked off. We got week 1 now finally, and many folks know that week 0 actually should be week 1, so you get to do your math and figure that out. But this will be the last of the times where the whole league is off, and it starts next Sunday. Well, actually on Thursday, right? The first game is Baltimore at Kansas City. That'll be one that a lot of folks are going to tune in for that to see if the returning champions have what it takes. Do they have the what do they call it, the Super Bowl hangover? Remember how many years the Falcons had a Super Bowl hangover?
Yes, yes we do.
I think they still have it, if you know, truth be told. But let's get back in the playoffs, Falcons. Let's do that, and we'll shut everybody up.
Well, you know, here it is. You know now Labor Day, that's the time you kick off college football now, and also with the NFL next weekend. So how excited are you about the Falcons this year?
Well, part of it is tempered, Mike, because I didn't get to see anybody in the preseason. And so I had to reinvent my watching techniques. to where I'm going to look at a lot of the guys that may make the team or be on the practice squad in live situations against Miami, against Baltimore, against Jacksonville. But I wasn't thrilled with that idea, so I'm just going to have to wait another couple days before we get news out of Flowery Branch about what the final roster is and who everybody's going to be brought back and the developmental squad and all the guys that they keep from those games. But I have to admit, Mike, I'm like many, I'm pretty excited about how well the offense is going to do. You know, I remember a couple years ago when Matt Ryan was there, he goes, hey, I think we could score 28 points a game. And a lot of reporters said, 28 points? You're out of your mind. Well, they not only did that, but they exceeded that late in the year. They were averaging about 32, 33 points a game. But what adds on to that for me is how good the defense could be. I don't know yet. We've got to see. But if they start gelling like I think they will, defense wins championships, and that speaks for itself. We should be a very, very good football team.
Yeah, the offense is, I don't think that a big concern, is it? But everybody's talking about you got to stop somebody again. I've used that term in high school ball. Is that for the defense in the NFL, you got to stop somebody. And the Falcons had a difficult time last year, as you and I talked about so many times there, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there were two things about the Falcons on third down. Offensively, they couldn't keep the drive going. Mm-hmm. They couldn't keep the sticks moving. Say what you will about Desmond Ridder. I didn't particularly see him as the problem until later on in the year. When he threw that interception against Carolina, and he threw it basically right to the Panther linebacker,
yep.
I said, that's it, I can't take this anymore. I'll give you a chance, and I've given you one, but that changed everything for me. I can't accept that anymore. And Heineke did an adequate job in replacement, but he never became that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't become the number one. Well, neither one of them are on the club anymore. I wish them all well, and I know Desmond was released by the Cardinals just a few days ago, and then Taylor was traded. But I think that part of the Falcon history is over, right?
Sure.
Kurt and Penix, I don't think they'll make that mistake more than maybe once. And then on defense, though, that's the part where with third and long, and they get the first down. They keep the sticks moving. Or we don't get a stop late in the third or early in the fourth quarter, and next thing you know, we're trailing and we're playing from behind, and that was just a recipe for disaster with Atlanta. I think the Judon situation makes everything different, because if you can put pressure on a quarterback consistently and force him to get rid of the ball earlier than what he wants to, our secondary will it'll be sweepstakes. It'll be interceptions and deflected passes and all kinds of good stuff happening from our side. And that, again, another reason to be excited about what's going to be happening here this year.
You know, I'll show my age again from this standpoint. Everybody still, who are deep Falcon fans from day one, remember the old Grits Blitz and how successful it was. And the defense putting so much pressure on a quarterback, and it helps you offensively. You get better field position a lot of times. You go 3 and out, you get them on the field. Momentum goes that way, and you're able to do more things on offense, aren't you?
Yeah, and I've talked to so many guys from that era. Buddy Curry, for example, was a rookie. His first year, he thought, "Man, this is crazy.
Yep.
I'm just being thrown in with the Lions and just run fast." And the defensive line was Fulton Kuykendall. Greg Brazina was a part of that. He was near the end of his career, but go be fast. Dewey McClain, of course. Dewey's been a representative in Lawrenceville. I see him all the time. And it was just go get the quarterback. Create on passing situations havoc for that guy, because he doesn't know who's going to be coming after him. Will it be 4? Will it be 5? Will it be 6? And which side will be dominant? That makes it very difficult for a quarterback, and it was a fantastic defense. It doesn't compare with the Bears, with the Ravens, with the New York Giants, some of the other great teams, even San Francisco that had fantastic defenses. The reason is because our offense couldn't score more than a field goal, and we paid for it with wins and losses that it didn't work out our way. But the defense itself was amazing, and kind of under the radar, Mike. Only you old Falcon fans will remember it. The rest of the league and other fans in different cities, they don't remember the Blitz Grits, other than that was a really cool nickname.
Yep, that's a big part about it. So they got to have some kind of a slogan, forgive me for saying that, from our former coach, that kind of thing, but really the fans can hook on to, because there's a lot of excitement. Hey, how about a sellout next week? That's something, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I just to get used to the word flex. If we start out slowly, which we might, because a lot of these guys have not played for, in a real game for 5 or 6 months.
Sure.
And they might be a little rusty. So let's just say the worst possible scenario: we lose to the Steelers, we lose the following week to Philadelphia. We're 0-2, but we'll turn it around. Trust me, that's not going to last for very long. But 4-2, 7-3, something like that. And when you're good like that, the networks notice it, and they are going to take advantage of that. They'll move you into situations. Now, right now, the schedule is what it is, but later on in the year, imagine the flexing of the Falcons' schedule to have more primetime games. We've already got a couple. It's been a while since we've had those.
Oh, definitely. Talking to Harper Bell, he's a busy man. High school football with us on Friday nights, Georgia State football on Saturdays, and Atlanta Falcons football on Sunday, and he loves it as much as anybody. All right, so you've been to Fire Branch to practice, that kind of thing. What kind of atmosphere are you seeing there with Coach Morris?
That guy's got a smile on his face all the time, and it's one of confidence, not just, I'm really glad that I've got this job. I know what I've got. I trust my coaches. I have a plan and an organized group of people that are doing everything that we can do to make that plan. He's come from the LA Rams. He was in Tampa for a while. He's learned how to tweak his particular style a little bit differently, but I'm also seeing it in the players, and you're seeing it in the free agent signings. You're seeing it in the front office. There's a lot of different. You're seeing it with networks that are saying, "I like this guy. Let's see what he can do." Now, he hasn't proven anything yet, so let's not, put our skis too far ahead. But I think that the neat thing about what he's doing, and this has been an issue in my opinion, Mike, the culture needed to change.
Oh, sure.
Where you accept losing in a way you don't like it. No one does. But you got to be different and go, no, we will not accept that anymore. I'm going to do what it takes individually to get myself just that little bit better than I need. If it's watching more film or practicing a little bit more and helping my teammates to do the same, that's the part it's kind of unwritten, but people are doing stuff differently, and the buzz is genuine, in my opinion. It's very real, and we're going to find out next Sunday on the 8th whether or not it comes to fruition. Let's just put it that way.
All right, with that, playing Pittsburgh next week, how's their quarterback situation going right now?
Oh, I know. Right? Is it going to be Russell? Is it going to be Justin? There's whispers. No matter what decision Mike Tomlin makes, it almost seems like there's a lot of Steeler fans that are thinking, well, that's the wrong one, whatever he does. Here's the good news. If you're a Steeler fan, you've got two quarterbacks right now. You don't have Ben Roethlisberger anymore, but you've got two quarterbacks that have started and have won. They may not be the best in your opinion, but we've got two, and that's better than having one. The bad news is both of them are coming off situations where their previous team didn't want him anymore. So why would I want him? That's a question you have to ask, right?
Correct.
Why would I want a
Sure.
guy that nobody else wants?
Yep.
But here's my problem, Mike. The Steelers and the Falcons, in their long history, dating back to the Falcons have not played well against that organization.
Never.
Let's do something to take care of that. Last time the Steelers came in here, they were kind of beat up. They didn't have all their starters in, and they get a late touchdown by Hayward to beat the Falcons, a little post route over the middle of the field, and oh my gosh, I can't believe we lost to them. Let's stop that from happening and kind of change the course of history against that organization.
But look at that organization, though. You go back and go, oh my goodness, Hall of Famers. There are a lot of gold jackets from the Pittsburgh Steelers organization.
And the funny thing about that, Mike, is you think it wasn't one player, but when they drafted that one player called Franco Harris, they were a different organization forever.
Yep.
They couldn't beat anybody up until Franco. They had the young Bradshaw, but remember, they had Terry Gilliam, they had Hanratty, they had a couple other guys.
Yep.
But when they drafted Franco, something clicked, something changed, Chuck Noll had been there for a while, but they went to the playoffs. They had that great immaculate reception game against the Raiders. They ended up losing the next week to the Dolphins, but something changed, and that fan base became rabid, and they still are. It's just amazing how loyal that group is to their team. There are some folks that are young and don't remember how tough it was to be a Steeler fan back in the late 60s or early 70s, but it certainly changed when one player. So hopefully the Falcons, if it's Kirk Cousins, if it's Michael Penix, if it's your coach, if something is that one difference maker that turns the Falcons into a perennial powerhouse.
Well, I don't expect our number one draft pick this year to play much. Hopefully he doesn't play that much because Kirk Cousins will be healthy. How about last year's number one draft pick? Can he have a good year here in year number 2?
Yeah, of course he can. I mean, he's healthy, and I think the great thing about it is you bring in Tyler Algier to spell him every now and then, and I think the two of them together have said on numerous occasions, we're together. If he's in, that's great. If I'm in, that's great. Well, we're here to help the team get better. And then you bring in Case McCallum from Alabama, another guy that just is a stud. We don't have Cordero Patterson. We'll see him on Sunday next week. He's with the Steelers, but we've got 3 guys that